to question 1. Question 1 is comprehension. Read the comprehension as many times as possible. First time, you just read it. Second time, try to understand the register of this and place it in the right position. Understand the subject matter. Understand what they are addressing. Move on to read the third time. Internalize now the whole of it and piece it together. Underline any new word you get, so that when you go back for the fourth time, you are linking whatever you have been reading. Comprehension tests on vast topics. It can be farming, like there is a year they tasted on coffee farming. They brought on Nelson Mandela, another side, how he was in prison and how they used to treat him badly compared to other prisoners. There is a time they brought about this content about the bombing and all that. There is a time they brought about discipline of children and so many other areas. Like there's a time also they tasted on obesity and cancer. So the vast areas, that's where English now marries with so many other subjects, agriculture and water view. Now when you are handling comprehension, do not bring agriculture that is not within the comprehension there. Do not bring the history that has not been captured in the comprehension in whatever you are handling. Do not bring business from class to the comprehension. So, what do they test in question 1? They test recall questions, and those are the easiest, whereby you just have to point out what you read. There are questions on comprehension, where you have to comprehend information and interpret. There is also a question on analysis. You have to try to analyze the cause-effect, so that you see what happens that relates to the other. Then there is an application question that sometimes may come. You apply knowledge. There is a question that will come on note making. You make notes. There is a question on summary if note making does not come. There is a question on summary, then there is finally vocabulary. I hope you have known how to handle all this. Now you realize there are years whereby a question carries 3 marks. There is a time 2 marks. Such questions, be very cautious because they demand a lot from you. Do not think every question allows you to lift from the comprehension. Some of them you have to refresh. So try to handle the question based on the demands. We have questions to do with statistics. So when you read comprehension, underline statistics because they help you. For the vocabulary, sometimes we have the synonyms within the comprehension. Find them, underline them. The words in brackets. If we are marking a paper and we realize the comprehension is clean, it means you never read it. Or if you read, you are rushing. And therefore your marks are possibly going to be low. When you are reading for the fourth time, you expect to mark the parts that relate to the questions, so that maybe in paragraph 1, sentence 2, you've written there 1 and circle. Another part may be written there number 3 and circle. To me, you are relating the comprehension to the questions. So take a task. Comprehension is the easiest, but surprisingly we have people who score 0 in KCSE. We have others who score 20. So you have to choose where to be, and the safest part is the highest by doing as much as possible. And this would be the last question to answer. Many of you start with that, but that is a mistake. And so you rush and go to the next question, forget about it. So consider to do a lot in comprehension. Check your answers again. Now when they bring note making or they bring summary, know the difference between note making and summary. What does note making require? What does summary require? I need one of you to help us in that. Hey, there are some people just around here who wish they also participate over here. leaving the front bench alone, but I would require somebody to even come from back and help us.
In the training, there is nobody.
So they've given us two different words. She said, making you write in note form, while in a summary you write in prose or continuous sentences. He's given us another difference, note making you number, while in a summary we don't. Now note making we don't count number of words. Summary, some of you write very few words and you write 69 words. When we are marking, we count, literally count, and we stop where the words must end and cross a line, and you don't read something that comes after it. And that means if the sentence ended at the middle, you already lose a quarter mark, because that is not a complete sentence and it's a grammatical mistake. Now, summary, if it's 5 marks, establish 5 points first, related to the question. Now, link that and use the connectors to make it prose. Avoid grammatical mistakes as much as possible, because you penalize a quarter a mark for each mistake in each sentence. When there is contrast, because from my experience, summary does not just come like that. There is always another trap. Either for you to show cause effect, like the time they brought coffee farming, they said students should write how the process of coffee farming. So therefore it means if you don't connect where it began to where it went to and moved and ended, you have no mark. You skip any area, no mark. So that was almost like process writing. The year they tested Mandela, they wanted contrast. How Mandela was treated in contrast to other prisoners. So if you just told us about Mandela, then the rest, without using contrasting words like on the contrary, why, whereas, there is no mark. So find out what is the hit. There is something they are tasting. It's not just summary. There is something. Cause, effect, contrast, process. So check on that first. I think I'm done with note making. For vocabulary, I've tried to tell you what to do. While reading, establish those words. Try to get the synonyms. And it's not about the dictionary. It's about the context. I know from course you've done excerpts, now you understand the context. Because a word might mean different in the dictionary, but the context within which it's used, it has a different meaning. Replace the word you want to answer in that vocabulary section, in the passage. Read and see whether they flow. If they can't, that's not the answer.